Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Martin with The Contoured Chemist. If you are new here, welcome. We're talking about some basics today with Seint IIID Foundation. I'm going to show you guys two different ways to apply it, depending on your preference, depending on if you are new to makeup, if you are brand new to Seint, some things that you might need to know, and some basics to get the best results from your new makeup routine. If you want to check it out, please keep watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and thanks for being here. Okay, friends, let's get into some makeup. All right. I wanted this to be a kind of comparison video. I'm gonna do half of my face with a very simple, great for beginners, great for if you are brand new to Seint's IIID Foundation, the basics for application and some things that you need to know. And then we're gonna get into a little bit more, I don't wanna say advanced. This is what I do on the daily. The application method, where you can customize your coverage a little bit, maybe give you better wear time depending on if you're having issues with the other method. So I wanted to show you guys both. I would say takes about the same amount of time, but I'm just gonna go through it with you step by step. All right. So if you are brand new and you have no idea what I'm talking about, this is Seint Beauty. So IIID Foundation is the revolutionary concept of having all of your makeup in one palette. Creams, we do have some powders, but cream foundation, IIID foundation, so that you can get a highlighted and contoured look really quickly, really easily. Great way to minimize and streamline your beauty routine. And can I just say, it is literally the best makeup on the planet for mature skin. I'm just putting it out there. I was a total convert. The glow up is so real. The ease is just amazing. I can't say enough amazing things about this system. I will say the only thing is that it is very different. It is completely different from traditional foundation. And so there are some things that you need to know when you're getting started. And that is why there is an artist program to color match you, for one, because if you try to pick your own colors, I promise you, you might get lucky, but I was not one of the lucky ones. And I picked way wrong. You will not like the makeup if you do not have the correct colors. And the correct colors is the difference between coverage, all day wear, or it wearing off, or it looking textured. So many things. So I'm gonna go over some of the troubleshooting things you need to look out for. If you are new to it and having any of these issues, this video might help you as well. So we're gonna do half of my face, and we're just gonna talk about the simplicity and the ease of IIID foundation and placing it where you need to. Okay, so in case you don't know, it previously was called Mascara Beauty. This beautiful little HAC picture is what we call the highlight and contour face map for where you put each shade. So I'm gonna show you guys over here, if I was to just do one layer of IIID foundation, what it would look like. And this is really great if you are brand new to makeup, if you have never contoured before, if you have no idea where all of these colors go on your face. I'm gonna show you just placement and application and how kind of you can use this system as like a paint by numbers to learn the basics, okay? And then I'm gonna show you how to step it up a notch on this side. All right, so first things first, and I have extra shades in here because I'm gonna show you a more advanced, I keep saying advanced, but it's not any more advanced. Some people will need this other method to get the best from their makeup. I'm just gonna show you the basics of where to place the highlight and contour. Okay, so with IIID foundation, our highlights, as we call them, are what you would think of as like a typical foundation. It is a cream base, is what gives coverage, but they are all in the yellow family to some degree in order to brighten the skin. They are not designed to perfectly match your skin tone like traditional foundation. And the reason why is because they are super pigmented. Like, you will be shocked at how very little you use, okay? So if you were to apply it heavily, you're not gonna like it. You're gonna have a lot of issues that I can talk about. And I have plenty of troubleshooting videos, and I can link those down below. But because these creams are so pigmented, you can't just swatch them on your skin and be like, oh, that matches. That's not the way this makeup works, okay? So an artist is trained to color match you. I can tell you what colors you would need for either if you need a color corrector, a main shade, a brightener. That's what I have in here, okay? So on this side, I'm gonna keep it simple. We're just going to use one highlight shade as kind of the main cover for a majority of my face and my general skin tone, as you will. And then I'm gonna use what I call a accent brightener that'll give me kind of that brightness under my eyes and just where I want it. Then we have a contour. So if you aren't familiar with contour is what adds that shadow to your face, that dimension. It gives you a three-dimensional look. So your cheekbones lifted, kind of can help you make your forehead look diminished, or your jawlines or jowls, or give you a nose contour, make it look thinner. It's pretty much, we're just using light and dark. So we're using brightness, okay, to bring forward, darkness to recede, and that is what gives us the three-dimensional look of not having a flat one color foundation. So the whole purpose of this is for you to be able to get a highlighted and contoured, which stands for HAC, look very easily in kind of one step. I'm gonna go ahead and add contour, okay? I'm gonna use my fingers, and I'm just going to show you kind of a paint by numbers routine on this side of my face, okay? We'll start where it's easy. We're gonna go around my forehead here, okay? I'm gonna try to do this on half of my face. Okay, I'm gonna go down. I don't know if I should even try to nose contour. I'm not gonna try to nose contour. It's gonna be too hard on half my face. Okay, and then I'm gonna go up under the jawline, like if I was to push up on the bottom of my jaw. Okay, right there. Okay, now the hardest part and the most intimidating part is the cheekbone, okay? And this is the part where most people really can tell if you have contoured your face or not, all right? So the key is looking for, if you don't know how to find your cheekbone, find something like this, okay? Roll it, okay? Push kind of upwards, and you'll feel this kind of hollow underneath your cheek. So if you look at the side, it pretty much usually goes from about the top of your ear to the corner of your mouth, and that's just kind of the natural. Most people's face will do that, right? You can play with angles as you get more advanced, but pretty much if you stay along this imaginary line, you will be golden, all right? So we're gonna start up about the top of the ear, right here, and we're just gonna feel that cheekbone, okay? And I'm gonna stop right here about the corner of my eye, okay? Because it'll naturally blend in, and I don't wanna get into my smile lines and make me look like I have a mustache, okay? So that's the scary part, putting on a stripe on the side of your face. But I promise these creams blend like no other. In fact, sometimes it's easy to over blend them to where you can't even see the contour anymore. So I'm gonna apply this a little bit heavier so that you guys can see it on camera. Okay, so that is with Astoria Contour. Your artist should match you to the proper shade for your skin tone and for your undertone. So our contours do give coverage. So that is what makes it so different than any other contour on the market. This gives coverage in these areas I apply it, all right? So you can now just put your highlight, okay, what you would think of a traditional foundation. You can put this everywhere else, okay? Some people like to dot it on, okay? I find that the most important thing is just not applying too much, okay? So I'm going to kind of just cheetah hack it, which is pretty much a version of the hack where you just apply dots. Okay, and you can see it. I'm hoping I didn't get too much. So one of the downfalls of this method is the hardest part of transitioning to these creams is learning how much to apply. So I feel like this is great for beginners to learn where you apply each shade, but it can be very difficult if you don't know how much you're applying. It is very easy to over apply and add way too much of these creams and then have issues such as feeling sticky or tacky or it rubbing off on your clothes and stuff like that when that's just a matter of over applying. These creams are so pigmented, you don't need much. Okay, I'm gonna go in with my brightener shade and I'm just gonna pop it right there because that's where I'm gonna add the pop to underneath my eyes. I'm gonna keep it really simple and just kind of do this little triangle formation right there. Okay, so that's it. Now you can go to a lip and cheek shade. Our lip and cheeks are different formulations depending on your preference. So some are more matte, some are more glowy. Let's see, which one can I show you? I'm gonna grab Hollywood, okay? I'm just going to pop it right there on the apple of my cheek, kind of towards the outside, okay? And I'm gonna show you guys now how to blend this out so you have one layer, and then we'll go back in with the last step, which is Illuminator, which is a touch of glow right here. Once we're done, you will notice we will have a natural glow to our skin even before we get to that part. Okay, so you might be saying, all right, okay, does everybody just apply it with their fingers? No, okay? We have a lot of gorgeous brushes and most people will just, once you kind of learn placement, once you're no longer a beginner, you can easily just kind of tap in and buff it onto the skin, blend it out. I have tons of videos showing you different brush choices, application method, the coverage you get from each brush, the motion of each brush can affect the coverage you get with these creams. There is so many different application methods for this makeup, which is why I love it so much, because one day you can do this for a really quick, easy, natural look. And then the next day you can do this method I'm gonna show you over here if you wanna build it up for more full coverage, if you wanna glam it up for night or date night, any of the things, or if you just prefer that kind of coverage. There are a ton of brushes. They all give very different coverage. Some of them will give even a more natural look than I feel like this will do, because it's all about the amount you apply, and being able to use a brush will control the amount a lot easier than your fingers, in my opinion. All right, let me be quiet so we can blend this out. All right, so I'm gonna start with the highlight, okay? And I'm just going to kind of press it onto the skin and buff it in. So buffing, little circular motions. I'm gonna keep with the just highlight right here and kind of avoid the blush in the contour right now. Okay, so I just blended in my main highlight, okay? Now I'm gonna go ahead and using the blush bronzer brush, by the way. I love this for blending and application. You'll see it's one of my ride or die brushes for the everyday. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my under eye. I'm gonna grab a different brush because I want to kind of be more precise. And this brush is really big for the under eye area, okay? So I'm just kind of tapping to blend that out like so. All right, now let's go into contour. So I'm gonna do my jawline because every time I do this method, I forget, and then I walk around with this stripe under my jaw because I forget to blend it. So I'm just gonna pull it down my neck. Okay, now that's gonna create that, it's gonna kind of sculpt out the jaw. Okay, now the forehead's also really easy. We just wanna go up into the hairline and down into that highlight. We just don't want a like white streak between your hairline. Okay. Okay, so now we've framed out the hairline there. All right, so let's go ahead and go into this area, which I feel like is the hardest part. I'm just gonna kind of press right there where that lip and cheek is. I'm just gonna kind of press around and press on up along the contour. I want my lip and cheek to kind of flow into my contour. And then this area, I'm going to just start kind of pressing along that line. You will see if you just start going like this and sweeping back and forth, your contour will disappear. Okay, you might see a little faint hint of it, but there won't be much left. Okay, so I'm gonna press until it looks pretty good, and then I'm going to kind of flick the brush upwards anywhere I feel like it's a little bit too much. Okay, there you go. Half of my face, one layer, easy, very natural coverage. I got that brightness underneath my eye. I got my cheekbones lifted. Okay, you can literally use these brushes as like magic erasers. If you feel you get too far in, press, that's all it takes. And these creams blend so easily as they warm up on your skin. You'll notice you don't need much. Like I used very little, still looks like skin. It's not sticky or tacky. I haven't even gotten to this yet, and I will once we do this side. Okay, so we've got the cheetah hack method down. We did one layer and we did the 3D look of foundation over here. Super easy, super simple to just kind of place where you want them, blend them out, you're good to go, okay? Now I'm gonna show you how I apply my makeup every day, how I get the best longevity and coverage. So if you are doing this method and your makeup is like fading, maybe it's just certain areas. Like for me personally, by the end of the day, I will have the makeup starting to break up around my nose and my chin and through here, because can you see on this side, I've got redness through here. I'm a little bit darker. I have darkness under my eyes, so this doesn't give me the best coverage because I didn't color correct first. So I'm gonna show you guys how you can build up coverage with this method by using a color corrector, a main shade, and a brightener with your contour. This, in my opinion, is the best way to build up coverage with this makeup. So if you are a medium to full coverage girl, this will be much harder for you to apply in that way to get the look you want, because if you go in and you start applying it heavier, trying to get the more coverage, you're actually gonna feel tacky and sticky, and that's when you're gonna run into issues. If your shade isn't really good at color correcting what you're putting it over, it's going to either break up, it's gonna look flaky or textured, it's gonna emphasize that area. Like if you were to zoom in really close on my under eye, it's kind of looking dry, and that's because that shade I put under my eyes is lighter than the area under my eyes. So the one thing you gotta know with this makeup and why it is so different, if you apply a shade too light to an area that's darker, it will start breaking up and it will wear off and it's gonna show texture. It's not gonna lay pretty. The key with this makeup is that we match the darkest tones of your face first, and then we bring it all to matching, okay? This is especially true if you're one of those people with like a darker face than your neck. So this method is not gonna get you matching and give you longevity because you would have to use a darker shade to match your face, and then your neck is gonna be much lighter, okay? So I have a video I will link below called the Advanced Cheetah Hack that allows you to use a color corrector and then do the rest of the cheetah hack method, okay? But for most people, if you have a lot of contrast in your skin or need extra coverage in certain areas, this next method is gonna work so much better for you, okay? And I find after years of doing it this way, I can actually do this much faster than I can this. This takes much more blending. You can tell I've got some hyperpigmentation it didn't even cover. This way, you blend at the same time and you can customize your coverage in the way you want, okay? So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna go into my color corrector. This way I do completely with a brush, okay? I tap it and I'm just gonna place it where I'm darker, okay? So I'm gonna buff it in on the redness on my cheeks. You'll notice my face is so sensitive. As I touch my face, it gets redder, okay? I'm gonna put some right here on the, I don't know if you can tell, I've got redness right there. Okay, so this is the part where you need an artist. She will tell you where the darkest tones of your face are, okay? My nose is notorious for not being able to get away with not using a color corrector. If you can tell, my nose is red, I've got broken capillaries, and it's much darker because of my hyperpigmentation. So when I use just this main shade, which is the same main shade I'm gonna use over here, I'll show you, it doesn't last on my nose. And I find that with all the clients I've worked with over the years, it is super common because our faces stick out, you know, farther than anything else. It's super common that we just have a darker nose than we do everywhere else. You might need a little bit of a darker color on that area or a color corrector. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the difference so you can compare. Okay, I've got hyperpigmentation under my eyes right here, and I've got a little bit of redness of my brows, okay? Now you'll be able to tell I used very, very little, and that is the key with color corrector. You might say, well, you're just gonna apply like 2 layers, and isn't that gonna make you feel sticky or tacky? But you can use far less than you even used over here if you're using a shade that will correct your issues, and then you'll need very, very little of this shade, and I'll show you that. Okay, I'm just gonna use my finger to color correct around my eyes. Okay, I've got blue and purple through here, and I've got some darkness and some hyperpigmentation. Okay. Now, by using a shade under my eyes that matches the darkest points and corrects them, when I layer my main shade and a brightener, you'll notice this area, I will have far less texture. It's not going to emphasize my lines, and it's going to age me less than just one shade that's too light for my skin tone underneath. So I'm corrected, and now I'm just going to do the same thing, but I'm just going to tap into my main shade. 1 tap under the eyes, 1 tap. Okay, this is the same color I used on this side. Okay, it's gonna tone down that warmth of my color corrector since that is too dark for me. It's gonna build up coverage in thin layers because with this makeup, you have to do thin layers or it's gonna feel like it's melting off. Okay. Okay, so I pressed on that layer so that I'm not moving that corrector I just placed, okay? So you can already tell the difference in coverage I have between those two, and I'm not even done yet, all right? So now we're gonna contour. And now my ride or die to contour is this detail brush. I feel like once you learn placement to level up your contour game, get this brush. makes your life so much easier. You can apply and blend at the same time. So I'm just gonna pounce it in to get a nice thin, even layer of that same contour. Okay, now I'm applying it over where I color corrected and used my main shade. So I'm gonna get even more coverage in these areas. But I'm gonna apply it in the same way. Start up at the top of my ear, same imaginary line. I'm pressing it on, stopping about the corner of my eye, then I'm pressing upwards. Okay, and then I'm just going to flick the brush up. We never want to pull down, or it just kind of shortens this area and it drags our face down. Whole goal of contour is to lift that cheekbone, define it, and kind of enhance that shadow in our face. Okay, same thing here. I'm gonna press it on, press it up into the hairline, down into the highlight. So I find the brushes make it half as much time than to dip in with my finger, put it on, and then have to go and try to blend it out. I can apply and blend the same time. And if you've never used a brush before, it just takes a couple times. It just takes a little bit of practice and make it so much easier. And these brushes are designed for creams. There's no other ones like it on the market. They are so amazing. It's like the tool makes the biggest difference in the world, I promise you. Okay, so we've got our contour on. If you need to kind of blur any edges, just use your brush like a magic eraser. These creams are like mistake proof. They truly are. If you get something in the wrong spot, they're easy to correct. The hardest part of correcting is if you apply too much. And I feel like once you get that down, you're going to be obsessed with the coverage of these creams. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in and brighten. And I'm gonna use the same shade as I used over here. Okay, I'm gonna use the buff brush. This is my favorite to kind of just press it on. I'm just gonna do one tap. Okay, I'm gonna, again, concentrate it in that inner corner. Okay, down the side of my nose. I didn't nose contour, but we're gonna keep it simple today. I'm just gonna press it where I need it, all the way down here, and then I'm just gonna kind of press it on outwards, not applying it out here where I have the most lines. I'm just kind of pressing it out. Okay, so normally I will, like, you know, you do the center of my face, but since we're doing a side-by-side comparison, I won't even go that far. I'm just going to brighten right there. If you have a lighter neck, you can easily just add a little bit of your brightener along the jawline to kind of tie in those lighter tones. So here we go, side by side. Now you can see this side looks like makeup. I applied this a little bit heavier, okay? I haven't even applied my blush yet. We'll get there. But you can see the difference in coverage before I've perfected, right? So in comes the magic of the perfecter. So if you're new to my channel, you've never heard me harp on how important this thing is and how different it is than pretty much every other beauty type sponge on the market. Once you feel it, you'll understand why. This one is designed with our creams to remove excess, okay? It's not designed to apply liquid foundations. It's different. So you want to squeeze it out under running water until it fully doubles in size. And then you want to squeeze out every last remaining drip of water. I feel like with normal beauty sponges, the level of dampness does not matter that much. But when it comes to 3D foundation, it is like the difference between it pulling off your makeup in patches or doing nothing at all, or making it literally make your face look flawless. So once you get out every last remaining drip of water, then I want you to put in a towel, an absorbent towel, and squeeze it out a few more times, and then kind of let it sit out to dry while you do your makeup. So then when I get to this point in the process, I'm just gonna pounce it all over my face. So I'm gonna show you the difference. I'm gonna do it on both sides so you can tell. But I mainly concentrate it where I brightened because I layered 3 shades under my eyes, and my under eyes are where I'm prone to crease, Okay, that's where I have all of my lines. So I'm going to press it there. If your makeup is emphasizing any texture on your face, you either have a shade too light or you didn't use this. This will help kind of press it in and make it look like your skin and not makeup. Okay, so once you've pounced it over your whole face, you'll notice it looks like skin, not like makeup, okay? You can probably tell the difference in coverage, okay? And I have blush on this side. I haven't put it on this side yet. So we're gonna go ahead and go in with the same blush color. I'm gonna use the blush brush. I'm just gonna tap in. I'm gonna smile, go to the outside apple of my cheek, okay? And I'm just gonna press it on because I've already put down those other shades. I don't want it to get moved, okay? Kind of blur the edges if needed. Okay, and then the very last step is Illuminator. So we have creams and powder. I like to use the Perfector on these as well. So I'm gonna swipe in generously and just press it on the upper cheekbone. Okay. And there you go. All right, so I went ahead and used contour to line my lips and I don't know, applied like 3 or 4 lip colors because the most fun part about this makeup is mixing lips and cheeks, in my opinion. So I wanted to show you guys the finished look, the difference. So over here, we layered, we built up coverage, we color corrected so that we could get that medium to full coverage with that method. And then over here, we did the paint by numbers cheetah hack. So 2 highlights, a contour, and a lip and cheek, and illuminator. So this one I would say is really simple to learn application, get a natural 1 layer of makeup, right? Never heavy or cakey. This side will give you the most coverage, the most longevity if you have a face like mine that needs correction or that has, you know, darker tones or dark circles or anything like that. This cream makeup is amazing to layer if you know how. If you have the right colors. As an artist, that's what I help my clients every day. Color match based on your preferences. So if you tell me you want medium to full coverage or you have areas of your face that you want more coverage on, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna match you to colors that I know will correct and give the best longevity and coverage for those areas of concern that you want covered. If you want a very natural, easy, like just brand new to makeup, you wanna learn placement, you're new to contouring, all those things, I'm gonna color match you for that preference. So if you need help, if you are needing an artist, my color match questionnaire is in the link below the video. It tells me all of your preferences so that I can give you a customized match for whatever you want, and then I can help you along the way with your new makeup routine. I hope this video was helpful in showing you some differences. Know that this makeup is so amazing in the fact that you can literally just apply it the way you want on the daily. So if one day you want a very natural, quick, easy, literally doing it in Carline, or if you're wanting your makeup to last from 6 a.m. till 10 p.m. for date night, there are plenty of application methods to give you the look that you want. These creams are literally the most versatile makeup you will ever see. They are multitaskers, they are easy, they're fast, they give you the most amazing finish to your skin. If you have any questions at all about if you're new to 3D Foundation, just drop them in the comments below. I hope this was helpful, and as always, thanks for watching. Love you guys.